from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. It's Week 6 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Denver Broncos.
We are at the confluence of the Ohio, Allegheny, and Monongahela Rivers at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Denver Broncos. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1 and able to get this out to the 25. Here comes the Bronco offense with Drew Lock from Missouri in charge.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Throwing on first down is Lock. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now a play fake, and here's Lock. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Brand, I think we can see early on they're making a concerted effort to get him the football. So to me, that means they like the matchup that they have. They feel like he's better than the guys that are covering him. 2
plays, 2 passes. We'll see if they go back to that well. From midfield, here's Lock. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big play there on the catch and run.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Back-to-back running plays, putting him in negative territory. What can they do coming up on 3rd and 15? Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Aaron Donald able to record his 5th sack of the season. McPherson's kick is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it. And he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
On 1st and 10, Sherwood. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Dancing to his left.
And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
So, Charles, you look at this offense. So what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the 1st round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. They'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On 2nd down now, it's Harris. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
We give enough respect to the big guys up front, because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
The deuce is wild here. 2nd down and 2 with just about 2 minutes on the clock. Harris.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Najee Harris
hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers have taken the lead.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Taken in at the 3.
Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
How many times in the course of a game do you talk about momentum plays? And I think we just saw one there. Just scored, right?
Just took the lead.
Just took the lead, went downfield, got the ball free again and picked it up. They got a chance to really get the momentum on their side now.
And now they'll try to pile on. On 1st down, Sherwood steps away to his left, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw, Sherwood. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Harris.
And the Steelers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
Back to throw. Sherwood. Buying time to his... And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. He continues to show at this level that he can not only pass for touchdowns, he can run for touchdowns.
Not the first time we've seen this, because this young guy, he really makes it happen. So what that tells me is the book on him has to change. You've got to now plan for those legs as well as him throwing the football.
An extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to 11. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos.
3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago and in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense for the Steelers, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Yeah, this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Locke. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. That's sacked by Tremaine Edmonds. After one, a 14-3 ball game. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away.
Hardman on the return.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he's been busy with his feet. He's been quite the scrambling man.
And obviously that can break down a defense, but a lot of it is just that they just get tripped.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing to start the drive. Sherwood forced out to his left. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
2nd down at 5.
They hand this off to Harris. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And some room to run now. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 45 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
They'll run with Harris. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On the give, this is Harris. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. They'll run. Here's Harris. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Najee Harris with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Locke going to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game. Man coverage on the left side, so I really like the design of this play because they opened up the field and brought their tight end the other way on a crossing route. That's a lot of ground to cover if you're a defender. I've been there before, unable to stay with his man there.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw it is Locke. Going right back to Fant. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On play action, Locke. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off by Garyon Conley. And the Steelers are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Being chased out left. He's got a first down past the 30 and all the way up to the 37-yard line.
As a rookie quarterback, that's exactly how you endear yourself to your teammates. Give it up for the cause. It's also how you end up on the training table, too.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. Coach doesn't like it. Teammates love it. Where do you fall on it?
Well, I fall on wanting to endear yourself to your teammates, but pick your spots. Be smart about it. They need you for the full season.
Yeah, the rookie's going to learn as he goes. play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Sherwood. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. It's caught inside the 25. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Deontay Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Denver's offense now set to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They begin the drive with Williams. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
A pass there complete to Sutton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Throwing again on 2nd down. Locke. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. It's a big play there for the Broncos.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
And he'll be taken down by the face mask, it appeared. And, yes, out come the flags.
Face mask, defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
On 2nd and goal. Locke toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Now 3rd and goal following incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Here's Locke. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll cut this to a 17-point spread. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Steelers taking over now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose.
Throwing on first down. Sherwood dancing to his left. And this one is incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead,
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down.
Back to throw. Sherwood. Catch is made by Hardman. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
On 1st and 10, Sherwood.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly... And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. Here's Mecole Hardman. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat of this ball game as well. They'll start on the ground with Harris. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 70 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A give to Harris. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. He's got him in. Complete. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards.
It doesn't look like this defense found the magic elixir at halftime. This offense was rolling in the first half, and that's continued here in the third quarter. Another big play right there.
From the gun, Sherwood to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back. unsuccessfully.
To throw on second down, Sherwood. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Steelers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And the lead is now 24. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up! Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Locke. Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well.
Here's Hardman to return.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Najee Harris and the Steeler offense set to go to work once again.
He is hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
Looking to throw. Sherwood. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it.
And the Steelers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
Najee Harris
with his 3rd touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Taking it about the 1.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score.
But that That's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit, or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
And Denver getting set to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller.
And the Steelers are going to take possession here at their own 33.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing. But I'll guarantee you, it's not very good. He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case,
wide open, complete, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Deontay Johnson, his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Steelers get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
And he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Set to take over, the Broncos offense trots back out.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
At the 23, it's 2nd and 12.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And Locke throws another one. It's intercepted.
Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for them. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for them here.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material.
Now Harris, and not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, But they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And it's complete. They're going to get the first. And I think the ball's out. They seemingly just continue to score at will. And as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win. But one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
Tyler Bass now for the point after.
Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. A drive there of just 4 carries. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Denver's offense ready to go again.
They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
Milton Williams breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. Throwing on 2nd and long. Lock. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
On 1st down, Lock on the slant, completes to Sutton.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
A throw over the middle, taken in. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
On 1st and 10, here's Lock.
No escape for Lock, and he'll go down.
Aaron Donald able to record his 5th sack of the season.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
To try again after the sack. Lock, and he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
That's going to be caught by Judy.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is taken at about the 14. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play that time for Pittsburgh.
Even with the big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college. But I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
And this turns into a nice gain with a... Slide at the end.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. After the turnover, here's Locke. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Locke, and he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. The Broncos on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he will have the Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. Clock now to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. The safety, Terrell Edmunds, picks it. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 122 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
1st down, and they go back to Harris. Pushes him over. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. On the ground, it's Harris. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it real.
Now Locke, he lost the football to town, but it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. From the gun, it's Locke. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And taken at the 46. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Pittsburgh, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Dallas Cowboys next week. Meanwhile, for Denver, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.